What's good, fam? Thanks for joining me on another GoatFormat video. So this is actually going to be a two-parter. This was sent to me by Bringerofrain92, and it's the finals of the Slifer tournament that happened just about a week ago. He's playing against Calvin in the finals. So let's just check out this duel, guys, and see who's going to win this rock, paper, scissors. Yeah, so Calvin a week ago or so was #1 rated on for goats, but that was for about maybe 5 hours or so, and then I think it was Ghost Rider 15 that actually knocked him off of that spot. I don't know what they're at right now, but it was pretty funny what was going on Nostalgic Duelist in regards to that. But anyways, guys, Calvin wins the rock, paper, scissors. His opening hand is Blade Knight, Sangan, Rhoda, Upstart Goblin, and Abyss Soldier. He's obviously playing Warriors. He's been playing Warriors forever, guys. Bringer of Rain's opening hand is Knock, Heavy Storm, Meta, Magician of Faith, and Thunder Dragon, so we can guess that he's playing Chaos Control. 6th card for Calvin is Donzalug, so obviously he's going to activate this Upstart Goblin now. Draws himself into the Ring of Destruction, and I'm assuming he's going to set the Sangan and set the ring also. Okay, so he summons Sangan. He just passes over. The reason I was saying to summon the Sangan is or to set the Sangan rather, is because he had the Abyss Soldier, so this way he could just press with Sinister Serpent. But he passes over to Bringer of Rain. Bringer draws into a Mystic Tomato. I'm assuming he's going to summon the Tomato after he searches with Thunder Dragons. The Magician of Fate is not going to go down, obviously, because he doesn't have any spell cards to use with it. So he's going to swing, take 400. Calvin's going to search Serpent, and then main phase 2 is going to search for Thunder Dragons and just end his turn, I'm assuming. Passes over, Calvin draws into Book of Moon. So now he can just summon this a big soldier and start manning up with it. Start putting some pressure, swing for 18. He can set the ring now if he wants to. He also sets the Book of Moon, so you know Heavy Storm's going to go off now. So Bringer of Rain draws into another Tomato. And so this is a little weird, guys. Just keep your cards the same art. Just because if you see this one in game 1 and you don't see this one, and then game 2 you see the regular art, then you know your opponent is playing multiple cards, multiple of the same card. But anyways, Heavy Storm's gonna come down now, and all he can really do now is set the Tomato, unless he wants to go ahead and go for a Metamorphosis play. But let's see what he does. So he does go for the Metamorphosis play, sucks up the Abyss Soldier, swings for 18 and passes over. Calvin draws into a Dust Tornado, so he could go ahead and activate Rhoda for Exile Force and pop this. Or if he wants to hold off, he could just set the Dust Tornado and pass. So let's see what happens. He brings back his Serpent, and okay, so he could set the Serpent. He doesn't know that Bringer of Rain has the Nobleman in his hand. But he activates Rhoda against the Exile Force. He's just going to pop the Restrict right away, sets Dust Tornado and passes. Okay, and Bringer of Rain draws into Royal Decree. So this isn't something that we see a lot in Chaos, but we have realized, I think by now, that Royal Decree is a really good card. I remember when I started doing the YouTube, I showed you guys a match that I was playing, and I was telling you guys how I brought in Royal Decree game 2 against every deck. If I win game 1, at game 2 I would just bring in Royal Decrees because it's just a blowout. They don't see it coming or anything like that, especially against Warriors. And then also against Chaos Turbo, you know, getting rid of those Regeki breaks with Royal Decree, making sure that your stuff just goes through. Royal Decree is just a really good card, guys. But anyways, Calvin sets the 1 card. Bringer of Rain draws into Royal Decree, so I'm assuming he's going to summon Tomato now and man up. Okay, so that was a misplay because he already summoned the weird Tomato. So he should have just summoned the weird Tomato again. This is basically the reason why you should play the same copy of the card. You don't want your opponent seeing or knowing, you know, that you have the extra Tomato in your hand. But anyways, he swings for the 14. That goes through. He's going to set the Royal Decree, and I'm assuming this is going to get Dust Tornado on end phase, which is exactly what happens. Passes over. Calvin draws into Torrential Tribute. So if he wants, he could just set this Donzalug and set Torrential. I mean, the better play would probably be just to set the Serpent with a Torrential, and then hopefully Bringer of Rain tries to like summon more guys, and then Torrential goes off. Unfortunately, he has the knock for the Serpent though, so let's see what happens. So he sets the Donzalug so that can get ran into. Also, the Nobleman across out would just get rid of the Donzalug as opposed to getting rid of the Serpent. So I'm assuming the Serpent is really important to him. So anyways, Bringer of Rain draws into Chaos Sorcerer. which is live, but I don't think he's going to summon it yet. He should just activate this knock and swing, which is exactly what happens. Okay, so he's manning up now and not being afraid of Mirror Force or Torrential Tribute. I'm assuming this Torrential is going to go off now, and then Bringer of Rain is going to drop this Sorcerer, which leaves him with just one card and Thunder Dragons to his draw phase. Calvin's going to have clearly the Blade Knight, the Serpent, and his draw. But this Torrential is probably going to go off right now. Okay, so so Torrential does go off, getting rid of both of these. And then now you're probably going to summon the Sork just to have a guy on the board, especially against Warriors. You don't really want them to start manning up on you. But anyways, he swings with the Sorcerer, passes over to Calvin. Calvin draws a knock, which is completely dead, so he's going to set Serpent and the knock right now. Passes over, Bringer of Rain draws into Magician of Faith, so he's going to swing at this and then set the Faith. There's really not much else to do here. Passes over, Calvin draws into Breaker, so the same play is going to happen again. Okay, sorry, I forgot about the knock. Okay, so he flips over the knock. Magician of Faith's going to be gone now. Sets his Serpent and passes over. Bringer of Rain draws into another Decree, so just swing and set Decree. Passes over. Calvin draws into Graceful, which is really good, so he's going to get back his Serpent now and then play the Graceful Charity. Okay, so he's going to summon the Breaker first. That's probably to get rid of a Solemn or something like that, but since you saw that he's playing Royal Decrees, I would have just Gracefuled. I'm not worried about that Decree right now. Look, so he draws into Heavy Storm. But anyways, Graceful's into Heavy Storm, Ninja Grandmaster, and the last card is Rhoda, so he's not really getting much out of this. He's going to get rid of this Serpent, maybe get rid of this Blade Knight. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, and then there's nothing else to do. You can set a bluff. Yeah, I set a couple of bluffs, pass. Graceful Charity is drawn by Bringer of Rain, so that's going to get dropped right now. Draws into Book of Moon, Mimic, and Scapegoats. Obviously, the Thunder Dragons are going to go to the graveyard. So let's not man up on this guy. We all know that Warriors play a bunch of Sakus and widespreads. So the best play right now is to just banish this with the Sorcerer, and then set Mimic with the Book of Moon and pass over. Okay, so he summons, which is fine because we know Torrential's gone. And then the Mimic is going to probably go in for 1,000. Regardless of what these are, Mimic's probably just going to go in for 1,000. And then set Book and Scapegoats. Okay. Set Book and Scapegoats and pass over. Calvin draws Space Typhoon. So he could heavy now and then crack this. Unfortunately, the Book of Moon's going to get to it first. Okay, so Rhoda first, grab DD Warrior Lady. 2-for-1 heavy. Book of Moon's going to come down. And then set Warrior Lady with the Tomato. You're hoping that he hits with this Sork. But anyways, draws into Tsukiyomi. So let's see. He can just swing with the Mimic. And then if DD Warrior Lady doesn't banish, then he can flip over the Sorcerer and then banish that. But he swings. Yep, he gets rid of the Mimic because he knows that the Sorcerer is going to go up. Passes over. I might have set this. Torrential's gone. I might have just set it. When you're in the grind like this, you want your opponent to use cards. So I'm hoping he has a Nobleman and he just Noblemans the Tsukiyomi. Obviously the Sork is down, so he's probably going to Nobleman that. But you want him to start using cards. Anyways, Calvin draws into a Dust Tornado, and he doesn't have anything here either. He's going to set the Dust and maybe set the Grandmaster. There's really nothing he can do right now. Yeah, passes over. Bringer of Rain draws into Metamorphosis. So the question is, are you scared of Sakus and Mirror Force? Which you should probably be scared of them. Let's see here, guys. You can flip this up. I mean, let's think about this. Warrior Lady's gone, and Donzalug is also gone. Those are really the big defenders in Warriors. Calvin forgot his Serpent. Let's think about this. You could flip this up, summon the Tsukiyomi, swing, just because you would think that that's not like a big defender, and then you should be safe with that because if you get Saku'd, then great. But let's see what happens here. So he's gonna swing with the Sork, and that goes through. Main phase 2, set Metamorphosis. That's gonna get Dust Tornadoed on end phase. Calvin draws into Premature Burial. which is pretty good. Let's see, he has darks in his graveyard though, so I guess it's not good. Yeah, all he could really do if he wanted to was preemie the Abyss Soldier and then bounce this up with the Serpent, but then the Chaos Orc's just going to drop anyways. So I guess preemie into the Exile Force and pop, and then hope he doesn't have a guy. That's the best thing he could do. Yep, Exile Force comes down, sets the Serpent, passes over. Rain draws it to Dekochi, so set Dekochi and pass. Calvin draws into Snatch Steal. He's going to set it and pass. Rain draws into Pot of Greed, flips Dekochi. Gets himself a Sangan pot. Oh, okay, so he doesn't activate pot yet. I would have just activated it. Summons Tsukiyomi. And now he activates pot, which is a little weird. Okay, draws into Mystic level 1 and Snatch Steal. Suki's going to swing at the Serpent. Pass over. Calvin draws into Solemn Judgment. So this Dekochi is going to get Solemned. And then the next thing to come down is going to swing for game. That seems to be it. Okay, so Serpent. I keep forgetting about the Serpent. So sets everything with the Serpent. Bringer of Rain draws into Swap. Flips Dekochi. That's going to get Solemn Judgmented. And then level 2 comes down. I'm sorry, level 1 comes down. Calvin draws into Book of Moon. So this game's actually grinding harder than I thought, and it's all thanks to the Serpent. Yeah, this is. I mean, Calvin is probably gonna lose this game because Bringer of Rain has more cards that do better things. But I mean, Calvin's holding it off, right? Draws into Book of Moon, sets it. Rain draws into a Mirror Force, flips level 1, draws into Duo. That Duo is not going to do anything. So summon Sangan would be the play. You know that it's a Serpent, right? Swings in, swings for 100. Passes over after setting the Duo. Probably set the Mirror Force also. And phase on the Duo. Draws into a Blade Knight. Summons Blade Knight, snatches Sangan. And then the Mirror Force comes down, and that's game, guys. Okay, so that's game 1. Calvin's going to go first again. Opening hand for Calvin is BLS, Kaiku, Dust Tornado, Ring, Warrior Lady. Rain opening hand is Metamorphosis, Tri-Virus, Nidoria, Graceful, and Breaker, the Magical Warrior. Obviously, guys, the reason for Nidoria's is because he's playing Tomatoes. So it's an easy way to search for something that's going to go 1-for-1 with these warriors. It's a little bit better than Kinetic Soldier just for that sense that it's pretty searchable. But anyways, 6th card for Calvin is Solemn Judgment. So he's probably going to summon this Kaiku and then set his whole hand. Yeah, that seems to be the play. He could set the Warrior Lady if he wants to, but okay, so he summons Warrior Lady. Sets everything and passes. Rain draws into Mimic level 3. So he could go ahead and summon this Breaker. Try to go 2-for-1 with this Warrior Lady. Let's see what happens here. That's exactly what happens. He gets the Ring of Destruction down. And then he doesn't have any other play, so he's just going to pass. Calvin draws into a Cliff the Trap Remover. This is to get rid of the Royal Decree, guys. So he's probably going to summon Kaiku now and just start manning up. Rains down to 31, banish the Breaker, draws into a Metamorphosis, which is pretty dead. If he wants, he could Graceful Charity now just because he's in a tight spot. That's going to get Solemned right away. So Calvin knows that he's in a tight spot, and that was a Desperation Graceful. Leaves Calvin at 3,100. So this Tribe can come down right now and first get rid of this Kaiku. And then now, yep, get rid of the Warrior Lady. 16 goes in. Calvin draws into Solemn Judgment. So he's got Light and Dark, and now this BLS is going to banish that. And that's the end, guys. Oh, so that was game. He wasn't even going to banish it. He just swings for game, guys. Anyways, game 3, Rain's going to go first. Opening hand for Rain is Sangan, Tribe, Breaker, MST Heavy. Calvin draws Kaiku, Solemn, BLS, Rhoda, and Mystical Space Typhoon. So it's pretty close to the same hand that he had last game. 6th card for Rain is Skill Dark Magician. So set Sangan Pass or summon Sangan Pass, depending on if you're scared of knock. Set Sangan, Calvin draws into Dust Shoot. So I'm assuming he's gonna Rhoda and then grab a level 2. Level 2 is gonna swing at the Sangan. Sangan's gonna search, probably grabbing a Serpent. Setting 2 or 3 cards. Yep, setting 3 cards. Passes over and Dust Shoot's gonna flip now. Getting rid of Skill Dark Magician. So yeah, let's see. So Heavy's probably gonna come down now also. So he Solemns the Heavy, which sucks because he's only holding on to an MST. Tribe. Okay, so now you can just summon this Breaker, smack this, and then crack into the level 2. Okay, so passes over to Calvin. Calvin's next card is a knock. Let's see. He doesn't have a dark, so obviously he's just going to swing with his Kaiku. Pass over. You don't set the knock now because you know he has a Space Typhoon. Rain draws into a Royal Decree. So Tribe's going to come down now, killing this Kaiku. And then set the Korean pass. So Calvin's left at 17 now. Draws into Tribe Virus. So if he really wants to kill this Tribe Virus, I mean, he'd have to go 2 for 1 to make sure the Tribe dies. Because if not, he's got the 100 for game. So let's see how he plays this out. Summons Tribe. And then he swings in, which is fine because he's thinking he's got an MST down anyways. Passes over. Rain draws into Graceful Charity. So let's see if he can Graceful into something bigger than 17. And then Calvin just scoops it up. He doesn't even wait for it. All right, guys. So that's the end of this match 1. So the reason this is 2 matches is because Rain was actually in the losers bracket of this tournament. So in order to win the tournament, he's got to win 2 in a row. But anyways, guys, I'll see you next time for for match number 2. Thank you as always for watching this match. If you liked it, like this video, guys, comment, share this with your friends. Everybody, don't forget to subscribe. Like I always say, if you want to help support this channel, check out my TCG player link in the description below. Also, you can check out my merch store in the description below if you really want to help out this channel. And I'll see everybody on the next one, all right? Peace.